very loud. Ow, my ears. Anyways, I'm not gonna wait for this thing to like do the little bass drop thingy. I'm just gonna say, hey, welcome. We are here. It's not in rhythm of whatever this fucking theme song is. I don't even know what kind of like genre of music this even counts as. I'm not trying to be hip hop. I'm trying to be something though. Anyways, my name is Diaz. You guys already know. I don't give a fuck. Chat tag, no double toast pre-show. We're actually doing our own shit for once. Oh, it feels so nice. I can just say anything I want. Not like we don't already do that, but Jet, how you doing?
You know, just stuff, things.
How the fuck? What sense does that make?
You know, I'm just looking on the side on recommended channels. See someone called Dick Planet. I'm
Dick
wondering,
Planet?
is it just a planet shaped as a dick, or is it like a whole bunch of dick people? Like, what's going on there?
I'm so curious. Well, I've seen Return to Dick Planet. I mean, let's talk about this really quick. Return to Dick Planet. Why did we leave Dick Planet in the first place? I feel like that's a good place to kind of just like rest at and stay at. But no, yeah, Return to Dick Planet. People are playing Mario Brothers. Apparently, that's the thing that happens on Dick Planet. I don't know. Speaking of Dick Planet, though, and I think that she would know plenty of Dick Planet. Roxy, how are you doing today?
Fucking thanks.
Well, I'm just saying.
You can't even like explain it. You can't put for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, Sean Higgins. What's up, man?
You can't add no fucking context. Now everyone just sitting here thinking I'm a fucking hoe.
No, I'm just saying, like, she's a nurse, people. She's a nurse, and she's around dicks all day. There you go. Is that better?
I guess.
No, it's not. It's actually terrible. I thought you were gonna yell at me. But no, I don't actually mean that. To be honest, I think the person that knows the most about dicks around here is actually me, but I just want to pretend like I don't, because then if I come out with too much information, people start thinking things about me. That's just fucked up. I can't even have an idea that's different than most. I'm just like, hey, dude, I think that all people grow up gay until you figure out that there's like another sexual organ or whatever. People are like, oh, that means you like dudes. And it's like, for one, let's just say that was the case. How are you making fun of me in 2020? Do you not read the news? Do you want to get canceled? You motherfucker, you? Like, exactly. It's just, I don't know. I'm still upset about that, by the way. It's been a long time, but I'm still...
That's gay.
Yeah, see? Like that right there. And God just taking a straw in front of me. He's played with his nipples. He pressed them up against the glass when I visited him in prison. It was fucking insane.
Left him ass prints on his window.
Dude, ass prints?
At least you wiped, because then if you didn't wipe, you would have left a scratch and sniff thing on the window.
You know what, though? I thought that's what you meant by ass print. Because, like, what? So if you wipe your ass and you clean everything, you still leave a print? I didn't know that.
I mean, next time I'll leave a doo-doo streak if you want.
That's fucking
Yeah,
disgusting.
from the heat distribution onto the window, onto the glass.
Well, shit, I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know anything about things. But the thing, Ryan, he's saying, I'm seeing the new SpongeBob movie either tomorrow or this coming week. Hey, are you guys seeing that too, Roxy and Ganj?
It's only available in Canada.
Oh, well, that's just
Those goddamn Canadians.
So is TikTok? TikTok's only available in other places now, right? Like, or has it not went into effect?
TikTok is still here.
Okay,
it hasn't died yet?
No, I still have the app. I didn't change my country. Fuck. Whatever of origin. Country of origin.
Yeah, same with me. It's still around. Like, nothing happened yet. I mean, they're trying to sue. Like, TikTok's trying to sue right now.
Because like, that's the thing is, like, if it's the president saying no more TikTok, then like, why is there no TikTok? Like, what's happening? So like,
because it's ineffective.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I don't know. Like, what do they have to do to get rid of it?
You can say a lot of stuff, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You try to get rid of Twitter after, like, they embarrassed them. Is that going to happen? No.
Well, that's the thing. Then who gives a fuck about the president? Why do we even listen to this guy ever? Like, if he doesn't actually have any control...
Because of the big misconception. People think that if you elect someone as president, they automatically get to do whatever they want, and that's not the case. All the president does is literally just... He has a stamp in each hand. One that says yes, and one that says no. The people who hold the actual power are in... What is it, babe? Congress?
Congress and Senate.
Yes.
Congress and Senate, because it actually has to go through a vote of multiple people, which people don't pay enough attention to when it comes to that part of voting.
Not only that, he's only really there to give a final stamp, and if he goes like, fuck it, I really don't like this law, no stamp for you. Congress go right in with a majority vote.
JP, what's up, man? He's saying, what's up, Nick? Hey, I'm not ignoring you this time. Are you watching any anime right now, JP? Tell me what you've been up to and what you've been doing. We might talk about that for a second, too, but I don't know.
Tell me what you think about me.
No, because apparently there's this thing going on with Japan doing all... let's talk about that really quick. Like, Jet, I don't want to butcher this fucking thing, but do you know off the top of your head what's going on with this whole Japan anti-piracy thing going on?
So a new law is going to go in effect in January that basically makes it harder for you to stream anime on certain sites. They already got a Kiss anime. There's a whole bunch of others, but we still don't know if those are going to go down next.
Yeah. So do you feel like that's gonna have a big effect on like anime-tubers and shit like that moving forward? Like people that review it and talk about it, blah blah blah.
Possibly, but the thing is, Crunchyroll and Funimation are still around. It's just a lot of anime is just going to be harder to find.
It sucks too because I felt like there was a huge like resurgence, not resurgence, just a surgence in general. I believe that like anime was on the come up, and now this is happening. I'm like,
Yeah, so
yes, big
you'll
robot.
also, if caught downloading anime illegally, you'll have to spend, I think, 2 years in prison.
God
Really?
damn.
For anime,
So-
fucking calling some other dude
Yeah.
senpai.
So no hentai for you.
Nope. And
Does that count?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! Yeah, that's stupid.
So you're gonna have to fucking wait,
Yeah.
or basically get a nice VPN and download as many animes as you can on your hard drives.
Yeah, no, that's just fucking Ryan. Oh, here comes a Weed Patrol. Don't say this shit in front of JP. He's gonna come over there and be like, "Listen to me, you motherfucker, you."
Yeah, no, that's a good quick question. JP, how are you feeling with the death of Kiss anime right now? Because I don't think it's a real big deal because you can get it from any other website.
Mhm.
It just seems like that was like the Crunchyroll of like illegal websites.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I mean, this could be a cool thing for Crunchyroll in general. I'm glad you brought them up because, I mean, if this is gonna be happening, everyone's gonna go. You know, they're gonna flock right to this, and maybe you can get anime coming out a lot sooner. Because the thing is, right now, Crunchyroll doesn't it take a while for the new episodes to be dubbed and then not only dubbed but subbed and put into this particular platform?
Not really. Like if you pay for it, you'll get the episodes pretty quickly.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will have to wait. But something came out with Crunchyroll too, so
Yeah, AT&T trying to buy them out, I guess.
no, it's more like they're not actually paying their workers.
Oh, okay, but you know what though? Can we stop acting like we give a shit? Like that's one thing I feel like even with video games, like with Last of Us 2, we're like, oh, this is terrible. They're being treated so bad. It's like you do know that they suffered with the first Last of Us as well as every Pokemon game ever made. Like they suffer, and you bought the new iPhone. They are fucking enslaving children, and they have an anti-suicide net because so many people jump out their buildings. But you gotta get that new iPhone, man. It's like we don't give a fuck. Let's just kind of stop with that.
I mean, people give a fuck, but the thing is, you can only specialize on certain fights. You can't just focus on everything. But to be honest, like if you really want to fight on everything, you have to be anti-capitalist because both modes of productions are capitalist.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I actually watched a little bit of Scarface today, by the way, Ganja, and there's a part where Tony Montana's like, hey, man, you can't do nothing because the communists be fucking with you, man. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? I'm on Tony Montana's side. You know, fuck you, Ganja. I don't trust you.
He was just mad. He was just mad. They told him, "Hey, you can't be robbing cars anymore and selling drugs to the fucking mafia." He's like, "Oh, I guess I go to Miami and do that over there because you know there's white Cubans that don't give a fuck."
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I like him.
Hey, if you learn about Che Guevara, you'll like him too.
But yeah, man, I just love that fucking scene too. He's like, I'm a political refugee from Cuba. Like, he doesn't say Cuba, he says Cuba. But,
He's also lying his ass off.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny too. I
Did
actually
they get rid of the scene with the tattoo?
Oh, no, that's still in there. They have apologies now in the beginning of the movies. It's like, this was a different time. It was a different time. But yeah, like, there's a part where the guy goes like, hey, where'd you get that scarf from? Eating pussy? You know, like, whatever. There's even a part too where like Manny is like doing the tongue thing. He's like, when we talk to women, dude, you gotta get your tongue out and you gotta go, blah, blah, blah. You gotta eat the pussy or whatever. And they have a dialogue, like a texting that says, hey, this was made back then. Don't get offended. Same thing with Rush Hour. That's another one.
Wow.
Yeah, which you know makes sense too, because Rush Hour, man, like we talked about this on the show during a pre-show a few months ago. But that N-word part, like with Jackie Chan, and then he still beats up all the black dudes. Like, I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy.
Not only that, you also got to keep in mind like this, like it came around right when Asian people were starting to come to the country, so that shit got unnecessarily racist, like real fucking quick. Like they were doing like stereotypical like 19s, like 50s and 30 jokes towards Jackie Chan and shit.
Yeah, dude. So it's fucking crazy, man. And it's just funny how like I think people are already aware of these kind of things around 1999, and yet they still did that. But I don't know. It is what it is. I feel like it was more like allowed because Chris Tucker is a black dude, And it's just kind of like, listen, we go through it too with these fucking movies, so we're able to throw some jabs as well, just because, hey, we had that in common, you know, like we look bad in movies sometimes. So it is what it is. I haven't seen Blazing Saddles. Is there anything really, really that bad in Blazing Saddles, Ganja? Or no?
I mean, if you count the Jewish, like Native Americans, yes, there is.
Oh, well, shit. I didn't even know that part. I know there's a blackface thing with Gene Wilder.
And then you got the whole, like, them shit-talking regular people and all that kind of shit. Honestly, Blazing Saddles was good for his time, but, like, I feel like a lot of people try to make these movies bigger than what they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for conversational purposes or whatever. Just like, hey, we got to have some kind of reason for people to come and check this out.
Like, how much of these movies actually did change something or, like, establish a new mode of cinema? Or they're just, like, really well-liked by people that, like, oh, I mean, I remember watching this with my dad, so therefore it's good.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, I think people just kind of, when they don't have nothing to say about a certain thing, but it is already big and they want to have, like, a different opinion, they just say a bunch of shit to make it seem better than what it was before. I think that happens with a lot of things, a lot of classic stuff, like Taxi Driver for one. But I won't go into all that. Speaking of people just doing shit because they ran out of things to talk about, I was looking for topics, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is not even like a topical thing where I just want to get your opinion on it, man. But Screen Rant, y'all like lose fucking energy as far as finding articles to do. I came across this thing. GTA 5's torture scene is entirely unnecessary. Can you explain to me, Ganja? Just throw a number out there. How many things in this franchise are completely fucking unnecessary?
The hooker scenes that are oddly realistic, the strippers with the one, like the first person vision titty cam, a bunch of mini games that don't do anything, like golf and football and shit like that.
Yep.
You can gamble illegally in most countries, but because it's a video game, it's okay in multiplayer. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, for the entire franchise though too. It's like there's a bunch of torture scenes from other moments. There's like a part where you beat somebody's ass because they say your sister's hot, and then CJ, your main character, buries them in cement. Yes, like I'm telling you, man. I really hope that we don't get to a point here with GTA games and articles like this or whatever where people are going to start talking shit like, oh man, they just went crazy with it. You know, they didn't have to go that far. And it's like, I can tell you're not a fan of the franchise. I can tell you don't actually watch the shit. Because if that's the case, then you should write an article about all these things. I'm not against people being upset with Grand Theft Auto in general. Like, if I had a kid, I wouldn't let him play Grand Theft Auto. But to complain about what Trevor does in the torture scene, which I think, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But, yeah, like to say that's necessary. But the other shit, though, yeah, leave that in there. No, it's fucking bullshit. But I just thought that was kind of funny. What did you feel when you first played that, by the way? Like, were you thrown off by it at all, or?
Well, no, because it had leaked already ahead of time, so I already knew that the part was going to come up in the game. But in terms of, like, shock value or nothing, it wasn't really that bad. I've seen worse than Saw or any of the other torture porn series.
Yeah, or Manhunt, that video game with PS2 or whatever.
Yeah, like, there's way worse video games out there.
Yeah, and thank you, Gary. Yeah, like, don't you think it's a little late to complain about that shit that came out fucking years ago? Yeah, Eddie's saying that too. Eddie Hendricks saying, like, he doesn't like that scene either. But yeah, man, and what JP's saying too, how many games have they released and how many people have supported this before the article? I think that another thing too is when people really try to call out Mortal Kombat and they had to come up with that fucking game rating, I think that when people saw that, people complaining so much about that, they were like, alright, just do whatever the fuck you want, who gives a shit? Because they're just complaining anyways. But now I think that if people just waited and complained now, they might have something to actually discuss, especially the gambling shit. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's going to get someone in trouble one day.
Yeah, fucking have this fake stock market on there too. That's another thing that kids are gonna learn how to do. Like, oh, we can just put money in there and it comes right back out. Fucking stupid. Ryan says, remember when PETA was mad at Nintendo for having Mario in a Tanuki suit? Was that real or was that a joke?
Yeah, they got mad.
Ah, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, the thing with the PETA is that they love that attention. So they keep doing stupider and stupid things to make people actually, like, pay attention to them. So whenever that shit comes out, I just tend to ignore them because the thing is, that's what they want. That's what they keep going to more and more extremes.
Yeah, because look at that. I mean, granted, I think PETA actually made this, if I'm not mistaken, because they want to get the point across. Like, look at this, fucked up. But at the same time, it's like, there's no point where he kills a fucking, you know, an animal.
I mean, he kills a shitload of turtles.
Does he, though? Or does he just kind of...
I mean, he stops the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I thought that would count.
No, I guess you're right. I guess I do have some kind of point there, but it's so silly. I don't know, man. Imagine like the video game industry where you don't kill things. Fucking silly.
It's all Animal Crossing all the time.
But anyway, so here's the thing, though, guys. We're gonna get right into something really quick because we want to get into the after hours and chill with y'all as soon as possible. There was this movie that I was kind of hyped about. Not too hyped, but I do like Jamie Foxx, and I liked the last thing he was in, Baby Driver, and a few other things. So I was kind of like, all right, let's see what this is about. But Netflix was doing an original movie, and it's called Project Power. Project Power. Say Project Power. What the fuck am I talking about? But it's with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which I mean, that guy is so basic to me, I don't really give a shit. But this is about, a situation where people are selling these pills, or I guess you can call them capsules, because they're not really pills. But they are, instead of being drugs like meth or crack or whatever, they are filled with superpowers. And people buy them, and for 5 minutes, when they take whatever this particular supplement is, they lose their shit, they get some weird, periodic, temporary power. And I guess people are getting addicted to it. I guess people are overdosing on it. All this crazy shit is a cool concept. But
You ever got overdosed on Incredible Hulk, dog?
Exactly. And, like, literally, dude, it's funny you said Incredible Hulk, because there is a scene in here that's like, someone turns into the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, shit.
Moving into this, though, I will say I like the way it was shot because it feels like an actual movie that you would see at a movie theater. But right away when it started, Jet, what'd you feel about this? Because I don't think you were really hyped to see this movie.
I was not.
Yeah, what were you expecting? Like, if I had to ask you, what did you predict out of this movie? What would you have said?
Cops doing the same old shit in every single cop movie ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
The only difference is one isn't a cop. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that too. Because that's the thing too. I mean, that happens like halfway through the movie. Oh shit, what's this? Mike, thank you for the bits. He's saying, do you think Mabel, aka Big Daddy Viscera, was unsafe in the ring because apparently he broke Kevin Nash's back and he broke the Undertaker's orbital bone? I wish I would have remembered these bits later on, so I can just save that for later. But I'll answer that now. I think that Viscera is way too unsafe, but it's because of his weight. And that's why I think that when you're an athlete, you should definitely hit the fucking gym. You're gonna kill somebody. You're a heavy man, and other people are supposed to pick you up. It's bullshit. But back to the movie, though. I think that, for one, when she says cop, Jamie Foxx is definitely not the cop. They have him be this kind of psychotic dude looking for his daughter, and then we got these villains that are barely in the movie. We have, like, this one villain who's in there for the beginning of the movie, but then, like, for a whole hour, you don't see him again, and I think that was kind of annoying to me, because if we need a reason to keep going forward with this, then we need to have somebody that we want Jamie Foxx to kind of, like, power over, and I don't think we get that a lot. But did you watch this with Roxy, by the way, or no?
No, I didn't get a chance to. Today, my new desk came in, so my cousin moved out recently. Real quick story, and we set up his room as my official streaming and gaming room. So you're gonna be seeing me on camera more with a green screen, and not like just a regular ass green screen. I'll put something on it, unlike some other podcasters.
Yeah, damn. No, but that's cool though. That's actually badass, and I can't wait to see that too. Hopefully, it goes good with because we're gonna change our whole setup sometime soon, so that's gonna be awesome. But Roxy, are you there, by the way?
I am.
So, what did you feel about this? Did you see a trailer before this at all, or no?
No. I didn't have the slightest clue what the fuck this was about until you told me, like, hey, it's a movie about drugs.
And then were you like, was that a good thing? Like, oh, drugs, let's get in there. Like,
you said it was something about drugs, and I thought it was like, okay, well, is it some kind of like cop thing where they do like raids and shit? I don't fucking know. So I sat down and I saw most of it, and honestly, when I started seeing this, the first thing that came to my mind was those posts that you see on Facebook, like pick 3 out of whatever pills.
Yeah, red pill. And
one and it has this power, except you don't choose. You don't get to choose.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I thought that was kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, well, now I can't help but kind of pick apart the movie where I'm like, who would do that? Like, here's some pills, and then you just take whatever. Like, even with drugs currently, people don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important whether I want to get a high or I want to get a down. You know what I mean? Or, unless, have you met people like that, Ganja, where people don't give a fuck, and it's like, dude, I just want some kind of rush, bro. Give me some speed, give me some meth. Like,
that's some shit. It happens.
Really? Okay, I'm surprised then, because like for me, it's like, it's very, very important. I want this particular type of high. So yeah, I guess I'm stupid. But the thing is, though, you might be asking, can those pills give you super speed? They can give you a lot of things, but this is where I'm going to let Jet kind of explain something really quick, because Jet, what'd you feel about the stuff that happened after people took the pills? Because I feel like we think differently on that.
I honestly don't know what to think. I mean, it's just random.
Well,
like,
it's
so
random,
you,
but like, what we saw in there, like for instance, like the whole invisible guy or the fire guy.
Oh, they were basically just really basic ass powers. Don't expect anything extremely out there. You're just gonna get the most basic of the basic.
What you feel about that too, Roxy? Do you think that they were too basic, or was it something that's like, it makes sense, or blah blah blah?
It seems like they just looked at like, okay, like let's look at some Marvel shit. Let's look at some DC shit. What's popular? Oh, Fantastic Four, fucking Johnny Flameboy or whatever his name is. He gets hot. Let's give that guy that. Okay, the Incredible Hulk. He big. He's strong. Let's give that to some kid. It just seemed like pretty basic. I was expecting like if you do get this whole gamble roulette thing where you don't know what superpower you're gonna get, I would expect like a wide range of things, not just like, oh, he get hot. His nails grow big. He's strong.
Cold.
He get old.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think that, like, I mean, when we were watching this, remember Jet was basically just saying, like, wow, yeah, I knew it was going to be fucking fire. And then, like, another person's, like, turning cold and freezing and shit. And she's like, oh, yeah, of course, it has to be fucking ice.
There's two powers that show up in literally any superhero thing. You're always going to get fire and ice. Maybe someone who can control water, someone with super strength, someone who can go possibly invisible, and what's the other one? Oh, someone with super speed.
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually the complete basics.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing you see here is something that you can't see on The Boys from Amazon.
Oh, or someone that goes into, like, an incredibly huge fucking rage and turns into the fucking Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because obviously big is good, so, you know, someone has to turn into a big fucking monster, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's silly, it's kind of stupid, but like the thing that kind of gave me hope for something like this is definitely something like My Hero Academia, where we watched this, and right now on like season 4, I think, or at the end of season 3. But there's so many cool abilities here. I'm like, there's abilities I never thought of, like super hearing, or you know, a dude has a crotch laser,
like, or someone drinking tea that can actually raise their intelligence, and if they drink other types of tea, it gives them other powers.
Yeah, you know, or even something as uncontrollable as Deku's thing, you know what I mean? Or
yeah. I mean, that's still basically just super strength, like being strong as hell.
Yeah, but there's just so much here where I was like, oh man, a movie like Project Power can just watch a season of My Hero Academia and just fucking mine the fuck out of it to get a bunch of ideas, these quirks that they have. And
the thing
instead,
with superpowers is like, you like My Hero Academia, you can be like, you can have fun with it. Like, you don't have to keep going to the basics, and if you do have to be with the basics, you can add something that makes it more unique.
Yeah, like this, like that whole, like, I'm gonna rewind a little bit, but like this thing right here. Let me see with this fucking guy. Yeah, punch that door. This dude. That's a suck ass fucking power right there. Like, he's obviously camouflage, almost like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4, where he's not invisible, but he's very blendy. But like, this guy is the thing is, I'm gonna rob a bank, and then he's running around with these fucking stupid ass bags. Like, dude, if I just see 2 bags floating in the fucking air, it's not invisible anymore. It's like it gets more attention than everybody because there's some bags fucking floating.
I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this part. This motherfucker took a bus.
Yeah, took a fucking bus.
You got a fucking bag with you. You can get on the fucking bus.
Yeah. Just keep running. Then he steals a motorcycle. Guys, don't you think it would cause attention if a fucking bike was riding around by itself? Stupid. You know, and like, I mean, Jed, I don't know if you felt this way, but like, maybe maybe it would have been better if he was completely invisible. Do you think that would have worked, or?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even think that, because like, if you're invisible, maybe don't do this late at. Or not late, but maybe do this late at night, because doing it during the day, everyone's out there. They can kind of still see shit floating if you did steal something. Why not just...
Well, I mean, he'd still fail. The thing is, he went alone, which obviously that's going to be way worse. If you're going to pull off something like that, you need a team. Also, during this part, like, there's a big thing that's just kind of like, so this doesn't really make any sense right here. Such as, one big thing about power... It only lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This dude robbed a bank. He tied up the people in there and somehow got in. There's like 10 people in there. So you're saying he got the money, tied up 10 people, and was able to sneak in there all under 5 minutes?
Yeah, by the way, Swagger's...
Yep. Also, a chase scene too.
Yeah.
All that was 5 minutes.
Yep.
Unless somewhere like around there, he also took another one, but I don't think we see him take another one.
And there is things here where they're trying to kind of mask how long it takes, or they're kind of trying to mask like, oh, he has those pills, but he's gonna take it in moments where it makes sense cinematically to surprise you, like this dude. He's very, very against taking pills until he takes them. You know what I mean? And that's like a thing where I'm like, okay, it's cool. Makes sense that he would take them too to survive this fucking crazy world that we're in right now. But his police chief is like, nope, no longer a cop. You can't be here. You can't do this. You can't whatever the fuck, right? And I'm like, okay, so obviously he's gonna start rebelling against the police department. He's gonna do all this crazy shit. That's never brought up again.
Put your badge and your gun on the table. You're off the force.
Yeah, and that never happens again. And by the way, he still has a gun, and like he does lots of gun shit like later on. And the police chief never shows up again, even at the very end. Not even like I'm sorry for doing that to you. I love you, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Blah blah blah. Like it's never brought up. And it's like now you're just wasting fucking time. And something I've noticed with these kind of movies, I think that they put extra shit in there because it's trying to divert your attention. Like, ooh, better start thinking about the police chief. Maybe he's evil. Maybe there's something going on there. But no, it's distracting. Plus, it's actually extending the movie, so it is a movie. Because to be honest, this was way longer than it should have been. Even though it's not that long in general, this shit kind of dragged a little bit, Jet. Like I don't know if you agree with that.
Oh yeah, there's a point where basically you paused it to get a snack, and I was just like, oh okay. I looked at the time, I was just like, oh my god, there's still 40 minutes left.
Yeah. To the point where like they start bringing up villains. Like there's this girl that they bring in here, and she used to be on the Louis on FX show. She was a girl who dates Louis C.K. and blah blah blah. But she's in here. She's not even like a main actress or anything. Like she's definitely not even A, B, or C level. But she's in here, and they bring her up like way later at the end, where it's like, okay, we already got rid of one villain. Now we have a second villain, and now it's just kind of like there's even a dude that comes out and he looks like Baraka, like he does some Baraka shit. And I'm like, okay, now there's 3 villains, and 2 of these villains are coming on at the very last 20 minutes, while the villain from the very beginning of the movie we haven't seen for a total of 3 minutes. Dude, what is this? Like, this movie meanders not because the movie sucks or anything. It meanders because you're not giving us a reason to be like invested. It's just people living. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I really like this movie, really like what it was doing and everything, but it did meander and it got boring as fuck. But Roxy, did you feel like this was just as boring as what I'm saying, or were you expecting something better? Because I know you didn't finish the entire thing, but how'd you feel in the first half?
Okay, can I be honest? Something that really bothered me.
What's that?
Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to put Casey Neistat and Machine Gun Kelly's ugly ass in this fucking movie?
I didn't know he was. Honestly, I'm so fucking stupid. I didn't even know he was in the movie. I just thought they had his music.
I thought it was Trevor Wallace. He's like he's one of the alumni off of All Deaf.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was him, but then I'm like, no, his nose is bigger. Who the fuck is this guy? I feel like I've seen him before. So I googled it and I saw Machine Gun Kelly, and I was glad to see him burn up in flames.
Oh, okay, so it's his character's name is Newt, I believe. He's the one who was going after Jamie Foxx. Yeah, that was weird because that character not only has that moment where he's on fire, but in the very beginning of the movie, there's a part of him like buying drugs, and it says 6 months later, and I was like, okay, well, this character obviously is going to do something important. No, he doesn't do anything important. It's just because he's Machine Gun Kelly. It's like, wow, that sucks. Like, that's in a very expensive cameo, dude.
Yeah, he's basically just there to introduce, like, make a connection, basically, with two like characters, and that's basically it.
And about that, because there's not much to say about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And I mean, granted,
There really fucking isn't.
You know, dude, like, just every, not to be racist or say some shit, but it's like it's every white guy ever in one of these movies, so it is what it is.
It, like, basically Jet mentioned it. How I felt about most of this movie is like, okay, well, how do we get from this part of the story to this other part of the story? Okay, well, we'll use this guy for about this long. We got there. Now let's use another person for this long. It felt like we're just using people and then disposing them right away.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And to the point where it's like every single thing is just an anchor point. It's like, it's so noticeable what they're doing that you might as well be just looking at the script. You don't even have to really pay attention, to be honest. Because if you've ever seen a movie, you already know how this goes. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I didn't like. To the point where me and Jess are predicting shit, and even though we were wrong, we are just like, wow, like this movie is so paint by numbers. How the fuck did they not do this thing that we incorrectly predicted? Because it's totally that type of movie. I mean, literally like music cues and shit. But one thing, because we're talking about the characters, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like I said, boring. Jamie Foxx is not boring, but once again, he's just playing a badass Jamie Foxx character, and he's done it a few times.
He's the most interesting character in the entire thing.
True, but here's my question about this though: the girl, the rapper. What'd you feel about that? Because I had my own thing about some of the blackisms in this movie, where I feel like even though there's a lot of black stuff in here, I think that it's only done to entertain black viewers, and I don't think this was made by a black person.
Like, I wanted to like her a lot, but her character is basically kind of to me. Especially the whole, like, oh yeah, I want to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You guys always got to add in that part, huh?
Yeah.
Despite the fact she has other skills, you always got to add in, oh, but she wants to be a rapper.
Oh, she's bad at school though, so she's a good rapper, but she doesn't know how to spell and shit. Like, what? You know? And then like the teacher, literally in front of the entire class, you got a D in class. If you can make a rap about it, you know. And then like literally another black person has to be.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah. It was just like, who does that? You know, like Jed called it out when we first saw it. It's like, for number one, that would never fucking happen.
Yeah, the thing is, in school, depending on where you go, if a teacher straight up says you're great out loud and try to make fun of you like that, they get fired.
Yeah.
That stuff's not allowed, and if you complain about that, they'll get fired. That's what happened to a couple teachers at my school back in the day.
Yeah, because here's the thing too, and about the rap thing, because we're gonna talk a lot about that. I'm looking over here, Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. These are the two people that made this movie. So this is not a movie where, you know, black creators wanted to make this and be like, we gotta make something for our people. Which, by the way, I would still call this bullshit out, even if black people did it. But my thing is with this Black Lives Matter thing going on, and the fact that there's black leads in the movie, that's why they did the rap shit. Because they're like, we know our audience, we're gonna do this, and everything that they did, even a scene where Jamie Foxx is explaining why it's so important for her, you know, for this young girl character to, you know, whoop ass at life and do her hip hop career shit. It's like everything felt like Jamie Foxx is talking to the black audience, like, hey, listen, like, there's power in what we do, and, you know, make sure to rap, and make sure to do this. And,
don't forget the part where he says she should join the military.
Yeah, join the military. And he says, like, so nonchalantly. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, hey, I'm struggling, my mom's sick, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like, hey, you know, it's so easy to just join the army, you know? You gotta do what you gotta do in life. Life is fucked up. You gotta do bad things, you know? And it's like, I get that, but when you have white creators writing the script and directing this movie, I feel like there's something about this where just it feels very corporate, and it feels very like glad handing a little bit, or just kind of like, what's another word for just trying to placate to like a black audience, almost like disingenuously. Did you feel that way, Jet?
Yeah, so it had a lot of parts. Don't like, and they also did that. They also did that thing where they basically make other minorities seem pretty bad in this movie too later on.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's like a lot of weird shit like that where it's like their message is getting kind of muddled within their like storytelling. It's almost like some of the speeches and some of the things they're trying to do almost happen like after the movie was pretty much already made, and they're like, hey man, you know what we can do? We can have somebody rap. Like, we can have a black speech. Like, you know, it was just weird.
All right, we need evil people. Bring in the Latinos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh God, especially like Roxy, did you make it to the Freezy woman part?
I did not, but I honestly, with the way that this movie was going, I was just waiting for the Latinos to be played as the villains, honestly.
Yeah. See, so I didn't catch this as much, but Jet brought it to my attention where, you know, there's a scene where, you know, a bunch of Mexican bad guys are surrounding this white girl inside of this fucking tube, and she's getting all icy. And that's not a big deal, because it's like, okay, well, Mexican dudes got hired to play these roles, so that's fine. But then, like, the camera starts acting weird, and then, like, every Mexican is mean-mugging the camera, like, oh, I'm going to kill him. Like, that kind of shit. And, I don't know, it got pretty silly to me. But, what'd you feel about that, though, Jet? Like, do you think there's anything that's kind of defensible about it, or do you think it was completely just stupid?
It was annoying.
Yeah. I do think that, like, you know, the fight scenes were fucking